been saying this. Now walk it out, 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 now west I walk it out, 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 north I walk it out, I walk it out. I came up from Bronx, you don't even know that. My niggas all ride with me, you don't even know it.
Here at Marshall's. So this morning I was on the road and I packed all my boxing stuff to go straight to training later, but I forgot high socks and I don't want to be wearing boxing shoes with the low socks because I already know I'm gonna get a blister, so not worth it. So I stopped at Marshall's quick. They always got the best deals on socks anyways. Always got the best snacks. I've never tried these, but these are the types of snacks I'd be on. No seed oils. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Now I'm gonna work at Starbucks. I'm gonna grab a coffee. Today's the first 70-degree day we've had, so I'm about to sit in the sun all day, which is gonna be like 3 hours, and then go to training. This fake cloud shit, this is all Bill Gates and his fucking bullshit. All right, so I know everybody's wondering how I make these delicious pickled onions that I eat just about every day, and I'm about to show you. First things first, I'm gonna make 2 jars. So for 2 jars, I need 2 red onions. So you need red onions, garlic, pepper, a cutting board, and a mandolin. Be careful with the mandolin. One time I sliced my finger open really bad on that shit. I forgot to mention, you also need white vinegar. And then on that pot over there, I have water, white wine vinegar, salt, and cane sugar. So you need a few things. But then you take your red onion and you take the mandolin and you slice it. Ooh. So now I got a bowl of onions. I chop them up really small. Fuck you. All right, so now you got your onions in the jars all cut up. Now you just want to throw a few cloves of garlic in each one. I'm gonna do like 3. These are like the full peppercorn things. Throw whatever, a few of those in there. You're actually supposed to wait, so I gotta let this cool off. All right, now that it cooled down a little bit, take this funnel thing and just scoop the shit out. And that's it. Boom. Gorgeous. Costco run. Classic run. We got the Propel water. Then we got eggs, cold brew, carrots, tomatoes, berries. We got blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, and blueberries, onions, and tomatoes. All right, so today is like the day of the onions. I made this for the first time yesterday. They're like healthy onion rings, and I've been craving them ever since. All you need is a sweet onion, Parmesan cheese, some seasoning, and some, I'm gonna use avocado spray. I've been seeing it with like olive oil. All right, so I have 10 grams of Parmesan cheese. I'm trying to do this with like as minimal amount of cheese as possible, but really like this recipe, you need cheese, otherwise it's not. So basically it's like a healthy onion ring. So I'm gonna save the other half for another day. So you got your onion cut up and spread out on a thin layer of cheese, and then you're gonna hit it with some garlic powder, hit it with some paprika, and some black pepper. Fuck. I forgot. You're supposed to spray this first, but you know what, whatever. So this is avocado spray. All right, and then you want to hit it with another thin layer of cheese on top so it gets like crusty, you know. That's what it's looking like, and then you throw it in the oven for 18 minutes at 425. So the idea is that it's supposed to be covered in cheese, but you know, cutting shit. Can't really be doing all that. Yeah, you should try it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the couch has to be treated.
So I just got kicked out of my house. No, so I invest in real estate. I do what's called house hacking, which is where I own a 3-unit building and I live in 1 unit and then I rent the other 2 units out. So this building that I live in, it's the first unit, or it's the first building I ever bought, and I've owned it for like 4 years now. So I'm 26. I bought my first building when I was 21. I do quarterly like extermination services just to prevent any bugs. Like, you know, I the 2 units that I have rented, I do Section 8 with. So, you know, I just want to prevent any bug issues, especially because I live there, right? Long story short, I'm used to these guys coming out. They come out every 3 months. Like, I'm very familiar with them. But of course, today, they were doing, the regional manager came out and he was doing like some sort of training with his technicians. Same treatment that they do every 3 months. Today, they decided that, you know, it was unsafe for anybody to be in the building while they were doing the treatment. So I had to leave. I'm like, okay, well, you know, whatever. I work from home, but I didn't really need to be at my house. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'll leave, no problem. I'll sit in the sun. It's a nice day out anyways. The shit that you deal with as a landlord, like needing to, you know, leave your apartment in the middle of the day for no reason, basically. But it's like, I'm not complaining because this is the shit that I asked for, and I would 100% rather deal with the issues of being a landlord and all the problems that come with it than not owning real estate. Like, I love all the problems, I love all the bullshit, and I obviously love all the good shit that comes with it too. And I think that that's like anything in life, you know, like you have to take the bad with the good. Obviously, you're gonna deal with headaches and problems with anything, but you can't only have the good parts of shit. You know, I think a lot of the skill set that it takes to be a successful entrepreneur is what it takes to be a successful boxer. Because at the end of the day, like, you really are running your own business. You need to brand yourself and you need to build an audience. So that's part of the reason why I started this vlog in the first place. And that's why I'm going to be successful. Like, I really believe that I could take these skills and apply them to any type of business. It's never about the thing. It's never about, like I always say, I could sell anything. It's never about the product that you're selling. It has nothing. It's all about you and your mentality. So I think that your mentality is the most important thing that you have. My dad ran a business. Like, my parents instilled that shit in me. I give them and I give God all the credit. Like, I would not be where I am today and where I'm going without my parents and God making me the way that I am. I mean, I really believe that my parents, the way that I was raised and the seeds that my parents planted in my head since I was a little kid is what's made me be as successful as I am. Especially my dad. Like, my dad always taught me when I was younger that I could do anything that I set my mind to. And as a little kid, like, when you hear that shit from somebody that means the entire world to you and you believe it. I mean, you believe it, and I've run with it ever since. So I'm 26 years old, and it's like, that shit was told to me when I was little, and I have applied it every single day to everything I do. Anyways, totally that was not even why I picked up the camera just now. I could be successful in any type of business because of my mentality. Like, in this instance, it's professional boxing. If I go at this as hard as I can, I know that I'm going to be successful. And that's why I know I'm going to be world champ. Like, because I'm just going to attack it until I get it. Like, if you have a goal in mind and you attack it viciously and you don't give up, like, you will eventually get there. I mean, unless you absolutely fucking suck. But me, I don't suck. You're not just a fighter, you're a brand. You're building a brand. Like, your audience doesn't only want to see the fight, they actually want to see the fighter. They want to, like, that's how you build a strong following, is when people not only know your name and what you look like, but when they actually know your story. That's, like, vlogging gives the perfect platform to be able to actually, like, verbally tell people whatever I want. I'm here working in my car, I'm connected to Wi-Fi. 5 years ago, when I first started selling real estate, I went through it. I ended up living in my car for like 3 months. It wasn't bad. It was just over the summer, but I ended up living in my car. And that's part of my story that most people would never know. But now, because of vlogging, I actually have the ability to like tell that story. And I'm laughing. Like maybe one day I will actually explain the story. But just know that when I first started my business, I mean, that shit is not easy. And as long as you do not quit, you will get it. So I went from renting an apartment. I was like, I'm not gonna rent an apartment anymore. I'm gonna the next place I live in, I'm gonna own. And I just was so unwilling to waver from that. I was so firm in that belief that when it came time to, I mean, I can't tell the whole story right now, but when shit hit the fan, basically, I ended up moving into I had nowhere to go. So I'm from New York. I was living in Illinois. Like, I didn't have any friends here or any family here or anybody when I first moved here. 3 months later, I ended up getting the building that I was talking about earlier, and the rest is history. I mean, I bought that building, and then like a year later I bought another building, and then a year later I got another building. So right now I have 9 apartments. I have 9 units total, and my goal was always to build a rental portfolio. It's crazy that, you know, now that I have some experience owning rental units, I'm always like, wow, I don't know if I really want to have 10,000 units anymore. Like, I don't know it's interesting to see the progression of your goals and how they change over time as you gain experience. Like, I've only been boxing for like 3 years now. I never ever thought that I would box seriously, box professionally. Like, it was never something like at all. It's crazy, the story of how I came across boxing. Selling real estate, I was trying to network with a broker in the market, and he invited me to a local gym that he went to. And me, you know, I always say yes to everything. I was trying to network with this guy. I was new in business, and I was like, fuck it, like, I'll go. And I started going, and I literally fell in love with it. People get set into their identity of who they are, especially as you get older. Like, it's been so easy for me to say, I'm not a boxer, I'm a real estate broker, you know. But for me, we call them side quests. Like, I think that that's how you live a life really full of color. If something piques my interest, if I, have never done something before, I always say yes if I have an opportunity and if I have the time for it. This is how I'm working from my car today. I got the sun on my face and my feet up like I'm in the middle of my living room. I've been here for like 40 minutes and I already got 2 leads. So I basically just call people. I call people I've never met and I say, hey, I have somebody interested in buying your building. Would you consider selling it? And then I just work them. So maybe 1 out of 10 leads that you generate actually goes somewhere. Maybe it's 1 out of 20 closes. Like, it's law of averages, and sales is all the same. It's like the more you put into the top, the more you're going to get out of the bottom. It's one of my cutting hacks, and just like in general life, honestly, I use them. Gum obviously is a big one. Then Altoids, of course. I got toothpicks in this one, so these are like mint flavored toothpicks. And then my favorite, my new addition to the stack is Hall's menthol sugar-free. It's perfect. No joke, I literally just got my back tire changed like 3 hours ago, and now my fucking front tire went flat too. Like, what are the odds? What kind of shit is this? Yeah, so I just always try new recipes. I saw this one on Instagram. It's a Greek yogurt bowl with caramelized bananas and dates covered in cinnamon. Then I got some sugar-free chocolate on top and some sea salt. All right, so here's the not so glamorous part about running your own business. And don't get me wrong, I think I said it, I recorded a clip the other day, like, I absolutely love this shit. I don't take any of it for granted. The highs, the lows, like, everything comes together. It's either all or nothing. But today, it's 8 a.m. right now. I've already gotten like 4 or 5 phone calls, and everything last night. Like, usually I fall asleep at like 9:30, and last night I was up until midnight, just stressed out about different deals I'm doing. And there's no reason to be stressed out at midnight because there's nothing you can do. But I just could not sleep last night. I was all stressed out, and then I had to wake up this morning, work out, you know, like life still goes on. It's different when you go to a job, you clock in, you clock out, and when you leave there, you know, all the stress and bullshit stays at the office. Like, for me, this shit comes with me all day long, everywhere I go. I was in the sauna this morning thinking about these fucking deals, and the phone does not stop ringing. And then on top of everything, like, you still have to train 2 times a day, and I have the National Golden Gloves coming up in like a week. So, you know, it's always, and I always say, like, I love the chaos. It's almost like I do this shit intentionally to myself. I tend to put more pressure and more shit on my plate than I can handle because it's just where I feel most comfortable. This shit is not easy. Right now, I'm stressed the fuck out, but life goes on. Like, you still need to continue to show up, work out, do everything, and continue to get better. I mean, it's a balancing act of running 2 businesses and boxing. You know, with all the bullshit going on right now, at the end of the day, like, it could be so much worse. I was talking a few days ago about how I lived in my car for a few months. Like, it really could be so much worse. So yeah, I got some problems and some issues right now, but it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even faze me, because when you've really dealt with serious problems in life, and I'm not even talking about like business problems, just like life in general problems, when you've really faced serious issues, shit like this doesn't fucking mean anything. It's like it rolls off your shoulders and you're able to laugh about it. And you know, this shit would make somebody else, these types of problems would make a normal person crumble.
Hey. Okay.
Alright, so I'm here at one of my buildings, and they are doing the rough plumbing. They're about 75% done. This one is a gut rehab building. Here right now, I had to meet up with the plumber. So right now we're in the middle of doing the rough plumbing on the property, and they're almost done. So I had to come check out the work and pay the guys, but you got to make sure that, like, you know, you can't just take their word for it. You have to actually like come and see what they're doing and make sure that the work is where it needs to be in order to get a draw. So I'm here. Work looks good. There's like 6 guys working inside right now, and you know, I don't want to vlog in there. I mean, it's loud, it's noisy, and also I really honestly just feel like an asshole recording myself vlogging while they're working. Yeah, when I bought this building, like, I did not ever expect, I was not buying this property to do a gut rehab. This is actually the first most extensive rehab I've ever done on a building. When I bought this property, there were people living here, and I mean, it wasn't in that bad of shape, but you know, it's part of learning, and it's a long story, but you know, I expected to spend some money on it, but I did not think that it was going to be this big ass, like a gut rehab. This rehab is probably going to cost me like $250 grand. And the shit that you see on HGTV is one thing, but when you really are in this life, and this, the other thing too, is a lot of investors and the people on HGTV, they're getting loans for the rehabs that they're doing. They're buying the buildings with a loan. They're doing the rehab with a loan. So it's really easy for them to just like, I mean, it's not their money, you know, you're using a mortgage or a bank to fund the whole project. So it's easy to just, or I'm not going to say it's easy, but it is a lot easier to just pull that money out and boom, you're on to the next thing. Where me personally, I bought this building creatively, and then I'm fixing and I'm funding the rehab completely cash out of pocket. So originally when I bought the building, in my mind, the rehab was going to cost $60,000, $70,000. And then long story short, it's going to cost a lot more than that. But now, I mean, it changes the entire investment. But going from $70,000 cash out of pocket to, you know, now it's going to cost $250,000 before I can get this place rented out. Obviously, that's a big difference, and that's why it's taken me so much longer than I thought it would. Like, when I bought the building, I thought it would probably take 6 months to a year to get the property occupied, but because of the gigantic rehab that I have to do on the building, and because I'm funding the rehab cash out of pocket, obviously I need to get that money from somewhere, and working on commission and being an entrepreneur is a whole nother part of it. You know, it's just taken a lot longer than I thought. But moral of the story is, as long as you don't give up, you know, what do they say? Slow progress is better than no progress. Like, as long as you continue moving in the right direction, eventually you will get there. All right, so this is what it looks like from over here. So that's where I was just standing on the 3rd floor. But as you can see, it's 3 units, and then we have the basement, which is also finished, or it's going to be finished. We're duplexing it down. So pretty much what I've done on this building, I mean, I can, you know, I don't know if anybody cares. Like, I know this is more of kind of like a boxing vlog channel than it is real estate, but both of them are a big part of my life. So pretty much what we've done so far is I put a brand new roof on it, new gutters, new windows. This porch is brand new. We've run the electrical. We had to update the service line for the electrical. All new rough electrical is completed. HVAC is about 50% of the way through, and now the plumbing is almost done. It's like 80% of the way there. And then once the plumbing's done, then the HVAC can be completed. And then once the HVAC is completed, then we can do the rough inspection with the city. Once it passes the rough inspection, you can close up the walls, you can drywall. And once you drywall, then you do the cosmetic finishes, and then we're fucking almost there. Like, it's just slowly inching forward. So, but it's like everything you go to do is like $30,000. It's fucking unbelievable. So one of the reasons I'm able to get these really good prices on the construction is because these guys are Hispanic, and yes, I speak Spanish. I'm half Puerto Rican and half Italian, so my Spanish is like, it's good enough to sell properties and to have conversations with people, but it's definitely not the best. Like, he just said a bunch of shit to me about the plumbing, and I don't understand all of that. Not only am I doing a gut rehab when I've never done it before, but I'm also doing a gut rehab in Spanish. Man, society would be a completely different place if people really understood and believed that they could be anything that they decide to be. So like, vlogging to me is totally new. It's something I've never done before, but I'm just here picking up a camera and I'm just deciding I'm adding a new arm to my person suddenly, out of nowhere. I didn't get anybody's permission. I'm just suddenly starting to do it, and I'm gonna make it a reality. When you really believe in yourself and understand that you can just do whatever you want to do, you just do it, and your life is totally different for it. Like, I can only imagine in a year or 5 years how different my life is gonna look, just because I decided to start vlogging. Like, you make these additions and these changes to your life, and it could completely alter your path. All right, so I don't know what normal people do when they start feeling sick, but this is what I do when I start feeling sick. And just, you know, I never really get sick. Like, right now, when I say I'm starting to feel sick, I'm like not even a 1 out of 10 on the sick scale. Like, I just, you know, you got the thing in your throat. I woke up, so basically I slept with the window open last night because the fresh air and the cold is supposed to be good for you. But of course, I mean, it's Chicago. It's like 40 degrees outside. So sleeping with the window open is, you know, not the best idea. But I thought it was summer, and it's not summer. I think that the first line of defense is sweating it out. I think that that's the best. Number two, I think that fasting and basically just like consuming, you know, a minimal amount. Obviously, you still need energy, you still need to eat, but just like, you know, the more energy your body has to fight off whatever disease you have, the better. So by, you know, if you're eating a bunch of food, like your body's going to be digesting the food and using energy to digest food rather than fight off the sickness. Second line of defense is making tea. So I got my garlic ginger tea. Basically just put this in some water. That's like a puree. Put that in some water. And garlic ginger tea. And then, you know, put some raw honey in with milk. Great. Second line of defense, bee pollen. I mean, I just take this shit every day. And then number 3 is oil of oregano. So this shit, I swear by it. And then number 4, I just keep this garlic in honey in my fridge for any time that I start feeling sick. And I don't know where I even got this like recipe from, but that's what so, you know, I ate like 3 cloves of this. Man, I mean, maybe I'm just delusional, but I promise you, I am like touched by the hand of God. I mean, the shit that I go through on a daily basis, I definitely have angels watching out for me, like 100%. Boom. See? If you hung around me and you saw the shit that happens on a daily basis, you would understand. That's why the shit that you tell yourself is the most important thing there is. Like, your mentality is everything. So, and that's why also for me, with choosing a partner and the person that I have children with is so important to me, because my old man is the one who instilled that shit in me. So, like, I'm forever grateful for my mom picking my dad, because he's the one who made my brain the way that it is. And it's crazy, like, my dad's been gone, you know, 6 years now. Like, the shit that he taught me when I was fucking little, 5 years old, telling me I could do anything I set my mind to. Like, as a little kid, I was saying the other day, like, as a little kid, you really believe that shit. And my entire life, it's always been colored with that mindset that I could do anything that I put my mind to. And because I really believe it, you know, this shit that I just pulled off just now, it's like somebody else, if you have limiting self-belief or all right, so officially 1 week out from the tournament. Today's Monday, and the tournament runs, like, we're checking in next weekend, Saturday, Sunday. But the fights start Monday through Saturday. And I guess just depending on how many people are in my bracket, there's potential to fight on Monday. And I guess I won't know until probably like Sunday which day I'm fighting. So I like to stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So I am preparing to fight 7 days from now. So in my mind, I'm telling myself, like, I'm going to fight in 7 days. That's going to be my first fight. I'm tired more than usual because last night I only got like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and that was my boyfriend's fault, which is unacceptable. I just consider everything a test. Like, you know, obviously fighting back to back at the tournaments is tiring. It is exhausting on your body. So I'm about to hit the heavy bag, just work on some stuff, get a good sweat going, sauna. Then I got a meeting, and it's pouring rain, and the meeting is like 2 hours away, so kind of a pain in the ass. But being that I'm going to be gone all next week, I basically try to stuff in 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week, so then next week when I'm gone, I don't feel like I'm missing out on much. Like, I already kind of took care of it before I left. So they could try, but they ain't stopping me. Don't matter how much sleep I get, I'm still getting that work in all day, every day. All right, so today I'm just pushing paper around. No, so I'm working on this 32-acre land development deal. This is the subdivision. This is what the subdivision is supposed to look like. So right now it's just 32 acres of grass, and I'm brokering this off market. So basically, I'm a dual agent. So I'm the seller's agent and I'm the buyer's agent, and I mostly sell multifamily buildings, like apartment buildings, but I know the seller of this property. Like he's a client that I work with a lot, and he's basically like, hey, see if you can, oh, look, a horse. He was asking if I could, see if I could find him a buyer for it. So yeah, all right, sure. I don't say no. Like, I always take opportunities when they present themselves. So, because you never know what you're gonna learn. Like, so I always say yes, and of course, I have a buyer for it. So we're going under contract for $1.8 million for 32 acres, and yeah, I've sold like certain like small pieces of land, like lots, but I've never sold an actual like development opportunity like this. A lot of things that I get to learn just by being around a deal like this. So there's this like random barn on the property, and then the 32 acres sits behind that. The land is annexed and like semi-approved for 45 single-family homes, and they need to be able to fit 110 senior. I mean, it's the same thing. They need to be able to fit 110 homes on this land for seniors, and like to get it more than doubled is pretty unrealistic. But yeah, it's cool to be like a fly on the wall for conversations like that. So between the seller, who's a developer, and the buyer, who's a developer, like it's cool to see. Obviously, like I don't really say much in these conversations because I don't really have anything to add, but I am the one bringing these people together, and in turn I get to learn a lot about like what they're, I just pick up tidbits of information, and I don't think I would ever want to actually develop properties like that. Like, that's just not what I'm personally interested in doing. Like, I don't want to do that. That's too much stress and too much risk, honestly. Like, that's not something that I'm interested in, because I know how stressed out I get with like rehabbing a building. Like, so to be building houses from the ground up is, I'm not like, I'm gonna stay in my lane on that, and I'm not gonna do that. But there is pieces that I could take away. Like, I could broker, basically I can find land and then get it approved for, like, I could find a piece of land and then I can take it to the village and get it approved for 50 houses and then sell it to, like, basically I would increase the value of the land by getting it approved for stuff. So, but that's a totally different business model than what I do now. That's not really being a broker. That's like land plan, like that's something different. The final countdown, a few days away. Just leaving training, and I'm ready. So hope they're ready to get their ass whooped. No, I'm just excited, looking forward to the tournament. Cool shit.
You gotta run, handle it, or tell the whole world that Jada's gotta come. Jada's get rap, bitches, duck and run. Jada.
Here at an inspection, I'm doing nothing as usual. That shit lasted like 3 hours, so I'm starving. It's such a beautiful day out though. I gotta be outside, so I'm eating my lunch here in the sun, and once I'm done with this, I'm about to grab my computer and then go work in the sun for probably like 4 hours. Yeah. And then I got sparring at 6:30. 75 degrees and sunny. UV index is 5. Sunning, grounding, cold calling. That's what we call the Holy Trinity. All right, I've been absolutely slacking this week with the vlogging. Just know I'm on point. I'm ready to roll, and it's been business as usual. I've just been super busy, so I've just been running around from appointment to appointment. Yesterday, like I sparred 3 times in 24 hours. That's like the last set of sparring before the fights. Like some personal stuff going on. So I'm coming from a listing appointment right now. This old school Puerto Rican guy, so I've sold a few of his properties before, and he always has some like crazy shit going on. So he, like this building specifically, he has like 45 violations on, and it's fully occupied. Basically, we're going into one of the tenants' units, and he completely just like throws me into it. So no warning or anything. We're literally like walking in the door, like one of my feet is already through the door, and he's like, oh, tell this guy you're buying the property and he needs to start paying rent, or he needs to get out. And I'm like, and he's saying all this shit in Spanish too. That's the other thing. I have no problem having this conversation with people. I do it all the time. I do cash for keys to get tenants out of the units. But it was just funny that I had like absolutely no warning. Like I just had to, and the guy's standing right there. So he says that, and immediately I'm like, you know, it just would have been nice to have like a little bit of warning to kind of get my thoughts together and my script together of how I'm going to say it and how, you know, how I'm going to go about this. So because I'm not buying the building, I'm the broker. So it kind of, you know, I mean, when you sell properties, a lot of times, especially off-market properties, you do kind of lie to tenants a lot of the time, because especially people that aren't paying rent, like it's a totally different, it's a lot easier to sell a property if you have either paying tenants or vacant units. Like no investor wants to buy properties with non-paying tenants. And I mean, if they do, which they do, if they do buy a property with non-paying tenants, then they're going to give you a low-ass offer. It makes it a lot easier for me to sell it when I'm able to work with the tenant to get them out or kind of set that up for the buyer. Or not only is it easier to sell, but a lot of times it'll increase my commission, kind of, because that's what I do is not what like a typical broker does. But anyways, it's just funny that this guy like always has some shit going on, and he just like, you know, instead of outside of the apartment lining this up for me so I could be like, okay, like, you know, let me get my thoughts together. Nah, like we're halfway into the guy's unit already.